I remember standing there in the back room of the bakery, flour still on my hands, when my dad cleared his throat and said the words that broke something inside me. "Ethan, your mother and I have decided we're signing the business over to Tyler, just like that 6 years of me waking up at 3 a.m., building this place from the edge of closing into the busiest spot on the block, and they hand it to my little brother who hadn't even worked a full shift in 3 years. My name's Ethan. I'm 30 years old, and for the longest time that bakery on Maple Street was my whole world. I never planned on staying after college. I had interviews lined up in the city, a marketing job that would have let me travel, but then Mom had her fall, Dad's back went out, and suddenly the place was drowning in bills. I told myself 6 months, just enough to get them steady. Those 6 months turned into 6 years. Every morning I'd slip on my grandfather's old canvas apron, the one with the faded coffee stain on the pocket that wouldn't come out no matter what. I'd fire up the ovens, test the first batch of cinnamon rolls, and jot down little notes in this beat-up notebook I carried everywhere. New flavor ideas, customer names and their usual orders, ways to stretch the budget without cutting quality. Mrs. Alvarez loved when I remembered her granddaughter's birthday and slipped a free cookie in the bag. Old Mr. Patel would sit by the window for hours with his tea, and I'd make sure his table was always clean. Tyler would breeze in sometimes on weekends, all charm and stories about his latest adventure. He'd flirt with the staff, take a free coffee, and leave. My parents lit up when he walked through the door. I told myself it was fine. He was the baby of the family. I was the reliable one. But then small things started shifting. Tyler moved back home after his latest job fell through. Suddenly Dad was asking his opinion on the new menu board. Mom started saving the best parking spot for him. I'd catch them whispering in the office when they thought I was out front. One afternoon I walked in on Tyler holding the deposit bag, counting cash with this focused look I'd never seen on him before. He smiled too quick when he saw me. "Just helping out, bro." I brushed it off. Family, right? Then came the supplier meeting. I'd spent weeks negotiating better flour prices to keep our margins healthy. I showed up with my notes, but Dad said Tyler would handle it. He has fresh eyes. That night I found an email on the shared computer, Tyler suggesting they restructure my role. Less kitchen time, more support. I closed the laptop and didn't say anything, but something in my chest felt tight. Stay with me here, because this is where it all started unraveling. A few weeks later, I noticed the numbers didn't add up. Small amounts missing from the till. Not enough to scream theft, but enough that I had to cover it myself to keep vendors happy. I asked Mom about it gently over coffee one morning. She looked tired. "Honey, Tyler's been under a lot of pressure. He has that little girl now, didn't we tell you? He's trying to step up for his daughter." I didn't even know he had a daughter. That's how out of the loop I was. The moral weight of it hit me hard. Here I was, single, no kids, steady on my own. And Tyler, a single dad trying to get his life together. Who was I to stand in the way of family helping family? But every time I saw my grandfather's apron hanging on the hook, I felt this quiet anger I couldn't name. I'd given up relationships, vacations, even my own savings to keep their dream alive. Now I was watching it slip away while smiling for customers like nothing was wrong. The suspicions kept piling up. Tyler taking credit for my seasonal specials. Parents canceling my orders for new equipment and approving his instead. Then came the Friday when I found the official paperwork half hidden under a stack of invoices. Transfer of ownership. My name nowhere on it. Just Tyler's signature line waiting. I couldn't sleep that night. I kept replaying every late night I'd spent here, every time I'd chosen them over me. The turning point came 2 days later. I was closing up alone when I found an old voice memo on the office phone. Dad must have accidentally saved it. It was from months back. My parents talking to Tyler. "We can't tell Ethan yet," Mom said softly. "He's poured everything in, but we always knew this place would be yours one day. Your grandfather made us promise to look out for you especially. Ethan's strong. He'll land on his feet." My own parents, planning this behind my back the whole time. Not because Tyler earned it, not because of his daughter, but because of some old family promise they never once mentioned to me. I waited until Sunday dinner, the 4 of us at the table, pot roast like old times. Tyler was laughing about something. I set my phone down with the memo playing. The room went dead quiet. Dad tried to speak first. "Son, it's not—" "Not what?" I cut in, voice shaking more than I wanted. "Not a betrayal? I built this. I saved it when you two were ready to walk away. And you gave it to him because, what, I'm too capable? He needs a handout? Tyler looked smaller than I'd ever seen him. I didn't ask for this, Ethan, not exactly. But yeah, I pushed. I have a kid. I messed up a lot. I thought if I could just get this right. Mom had tears in her eyes. We love you both. We thought we were protecting you from burning out like your father did. The argument didn't explode into screaming. It was worse. It was quiet hurt, interruptions, long silences where nobody knew what to say. I told him I was done. No dramatic exit speech. Just that I couldn't keep pretending this didn't cut deep. I walked out with my grandfather's apron and my notebook. Left my keys on the counter. The first few weeks were brutal. I crashed on a friend's couch, applied for jobs I didn't want, woke up reaching for an apron that wasn't there. But then something shifted. I started baking from my tiny apartment kitchen just for fun at first, posted a few pictures online. Regulars from the old shop started showing up at pop-ups. Word spread. People remembered the flavors I'd created, the care I'd put in. 6 months later, I opened a small stand at the weekend market. Nothing fancy, just me, my notebook, and that same apron. It's not the big storefront, but it's mine. Customers come back because they feel the difference. My parents have reached out. Tyler, too. Awkward texts about his daughter asking about Uncle Ethan. Some days I feel the pull to forgive completely. Other days the hurt is still there, sharp as burnt sugar. They've offered shares, apologies, even money I don't want. I'm still figuring out what family means when the people who raised you choose sides. The business is struggling a bit under Tyler from what I hear. Not failing, but not thriving either. And me? I'm finally building something that feels like freedom. So tell me, if your family took the future you'd earned and handed it to someone else because they needed it more, what would you do? Walk away clean? Fight for what you built? Or try to find a way back to the table? If this story hit you in the chest like it did me, hit subscribe for more real feeling stories that stick with you. Drop your thoughts below. I read every single one. What would you have done in my shoes?